Listen, sometimes people walk out of your life thinking they upgraded. They think they traded you in like you were a used car, and they just drove off in something shinier. But let me tell you something. Reward is always attached to doing right, and pain is always attached to doing wrong. When someone leaves you for somebody else, don't you chase them. Don't you beg them. Don't you try to prove your worth, because the moment you do that, you hand them your power. Instead, here's what you do. You rise. You focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You get your confidence back, your energy back, your peace back. You start working on your goals, your body, your career, your spirit. You stop checking their page. You stop wondering who they're with. You stop replaying the hurt. You put that pain into progress. You put that loss into leveling up. Because let me tell you, nothing haunts a person more than watching the one they abandoned become everything they could have had without them. See, they thought they replaced you, but what they really did is remove themselves from the blessing God had prepared for you. And the day they see you glowing, the day they see you thriving, the day they realize you became stronger, wiser, happier, all because they let you go, that's the day it hits them. I didn't replace them, I lost them. And that feeling, that's the real fall apart. Not because of revenge, but because they finally see your value at the exact moment they can't reach you anymore. So stand tall, heal, grow, elevate. Your comeback is the closure. Listen, sometimes in life, people will walk out on you like you were nothing more than a temporary stop on their journey. They'll leave you for someone else because they think the grass is greener, the attention is sweeter, or the excitement is louder. They think they've upgraded. They think they've traded you in for something better. And you're left there wondering what you did wrong, what you were missing, what you didn't give. But hear me clearly, when somebody leaves you, that's not your loss. That's your revelation. It reveals who they really were. It reveals their loyalty, their maturity, their character, or the lack of it. People don't always leave because you weren't enough. Sometimes they leave because they were never meant to stay. They were never built for the weight of who you're becoming. They weren't designed to carry the blessing that's attached to your name. And when they walk out, your first instinct might be to chase, to prove, to argue, to beg. But the moment you chase, you hand them your value. The moment you beg, you underestimate what God put inside you. Don't run after anybody who chose to walk away. Respect their exit. What you do instead is rise. You pick yourself up and focus on becoming the absolute best version of you. You work on your confidence until you glow from the inside out. You work on your goals until they produce results you never believed you could reach. You work on your peace until nothing shakes you the same way again. You stop stalking their page. You stop replaying the last conversation. You stop imagining what they're doing now that they're gone. Your mind is not a storage room for someone who chose to leave. Put that heartbreak into your hustle. Put that disappointment into your elevation. Turn every tear into fuel. A lot of people only realize what they had when they can't touch it anymore. They only understand your value when your absence hits harder than your presence ever did. And trust me, nothing makes a person fall apart more than watching. The one they abandoned rise so high that they can't reach anymore. They'll see you laughing again, glowing again, improving again. They'll see you walking different, talking different, moving different, and they'll remember they had access to that version of you before you even fully became it. They'll see the strength that was always there, the loyalty they took for granted, the love they mishandled. And that realization doesn't come gently. It comes like a punch to the soul, because now they see what you are worth. Right at the moment you're too far gone for them to fix what they broke. You don't have to embarrass them. You don't have to get revenge. Life does that for you. Growth does that for you. Healing does that for you. The greatest thing you can ever do when someone leaves you for somebody else is elevate. Rise so high that they have to tilt their head back just to see you. Improve so much that even the memory of who you used to be doesn't compare to who you've become. Let your comeback speak for you. Let your success answer every question you once cried over. Let your growth close every chapter they tried to destroy. When somebody leaves you for someone else, the first thing your heart wants to do is hurt back. You want to prove something. You want to make them feel what you felt, cry how you cried, regret what they walked away from. That's human, but that's also the trap. Because the moment you start chasing revenge, you stop chasing growth, you stop chasing healing. And you hand your whole future over to a past that doesn't deserve any more of your time. Revenge might feel good for a moment, but it never builds anything. It never elevates you. It never restores what was taken. What really changes your life, what really shakes the world around you, is when you take all that anger, all that heartbreak, all that confusion, and you pour it right back into yourself, not into them, not into proving something, into you. You level up mentally by strengthening the most powerful thing you have, your mind. Heartbreak can make you start doubting yourself, questioning your worth, replaying every moment trying to figure out what you could have done differently. But that's not where your mental strength grows. It grows when you decide, I'm not letting this break me. I'm not letting this define me. You start feeding your mind things that lift you, not drain you. You learn new skills, new habits, new ways of thinking. You read more, you plan more, you dream bigger, you build discipline. You start focusing on the future you want instead of the person who didn't know how to value you. Mental leveling up is when you stop letting someone else's decision control how you think about yourself. Then you level up physically. You take the sadness, the frustration, the restlessness, and you take it to the gym, to the track, to the mirror. You move your body. You strengthen it. You reshape it. You put energy back into yourself instead of wasting it scrolling, crying, or checking up on people who left. There's something powerful about working on your body after heartbreak, not because you want them to see it, but because it reminds you what you're capable of. The discipline you build physically becomes confidence mentally. The confidence you gain physically becomes peace emotionally. And when you feel good on the outside, it reinforces what you're building on the inside. But the deepest transformation happens spiritually. Because when someone walks out of your life, you have two choices. You can let your spirit get bitter, or you can let it get wiser. You can let pain harden you, or you can let it strengthen you. You can keep asking, why me? Or you can start believing because better is coming. Spiritual leveling up means trusting that what left your life was never meant to stay. It means understanding that rejection is sometimes protection. It means letting go, forgiving for your own peace, and believing that everything taken from you will be replaced with something bare. See, revenge keeps you tied to a moment. Growth frees you from it. Revenge keeps your energy focused on someone who doesn't deserve it. Growth directs your energy back to the person who needs it most. When you stop seeking revenge and start leveling up mentally, physically, and spiritually, you don't just heal, you transform. You become someone stronger, wiser, calmer, sharper. Someone they can't just walk back to when life stops going their way. Someone who outgrew everything they thought you'd stay stuck in. Pain is heavy. It's sharp. It's the kind of feeling that makes your chest tight, your stomach not, and your mind spin with why me. It makes you question your worth, your choices, and even your ability to ever be happy again. When somebody leaves you for someone else, that pain hits differently. It's not just disappointment. It's betrayal. It's rejection. It's the kind of hurt that whispers lies in your ear. You're not enough. You're broken. You'll never find better. And if you're not careful, that voice can take over your life. But I'm telling you something right now. Pain is not a sentence. It's a tool. Pain can either destroy you or it can elevate you. And the choice is always yours. You see, most people let their pain control them. They curl up. They replay the moments. They fixate on the if-onlys and the what-could-have-beens. They let that heartbreak dictate their energy, their decisions, their mood, their life. But you can do something different. You can take that sharp sting of rejection and flip it into fuel. You can take every tear and turn it into a lesson. You can take the anger and frustration and channel it into action. Pain becomes powerful when you refuse to stay stuck in it. It becomes powerful when you stop letting it steal your peace and start letting it guide your growth. Progress is what turns heartbreak into victory. Progress is what takes the sadness you feel and transforms it into results you can touch, see, and feel. It's waking up earlier than usual, working harder than usual, learning more than usual. It's putting your energy into something that builds you instead of breaks you. Progress is in the small victories, like finishing a project, hitting the gym, speaking a hard truth, or finally taking that step you've been afraid to take. Each of these steps is like a brick in the foundation of the person you are becoming. Someone stronger, wiser, more resilient. The beauty of turning pain into progress is that it gives you control. You see, When someone leaves you, you can't control their actions, their choices, or their feelings, but you can control what you do with that moment. You can decide whether it defines you or refines you. You can decide whether it destroys you or drives you. You can decide whether it's the end of your story or the beginning of your rise. And when you focus on progress, you take that pain and use it like a compass, pointing you toward a better version of yourself. And don't get it twisted. Progress isn't always glamorous. It's not always visible. Sometimes it's quiet, slow, and painful. You may not see the change immediately, but every day you invest in yourself, every moment you choose action over sorrow, every time you rise, when you feel like falling, you're turning your heartbreak into power. And eventually, when they see the person you've become, when they see your life thriving without them, when they realize they lost someone unstoppable, that's when the transformation becomes undeniable. Pain only has power if you let it. But progress is permanent. It can't be taken away. It builds you from the inside out, shapes your mindset, strengthens your spirit, and prepares you for the blessings that were always meant to be yours. When you take your pain and turn it into progress, you don't just survive, you evolve. You rise above the heartbreak. You become someone untouchable, unstoppable, unshakable. And the irony is, the very thing that hurt you the most becomes the reason you're living at your absolute best. When someone leaves you for someone else, the instinct is to speak, to explain, to justify, to beg them to see what they're missing. You want to tell them how great you were, how much you cared, how much you sacrificed. But here's the truth. Words don't hold the power. You think they do. Words can't convince a person who already made up their mind. Words can't make someone appreciate what they abandoned. Words can't rebuild the bridges they burned. But growth speaks louder than any argument, any explanation, or any plea ever could. Growth doesn't beg for attention. Growth commands it. Growth shows value in a way that words never can. Your true worth isn't measured by how loudly you proclaim it. It's measured by the life you build, the energy you radiate, and the peace you carry. When you focus on becoming better, stronger, smarter, and more resilient, you let your actions do the talking. You stop wasting time trying to explain why someone should love you, respect you, or value you. Instead, you create a life that naturally draws admiration. Not because you want it, but because you've invested in yourself. And when they see it, they'll realize the depth of what they walked away from. Not because you told them, but because your life will show them. Growth doesn't just happen overnight. It's not a quick fix or a gimmick. It's a series of choices to work harder, to dream bigger, to heal faster, to rise above the setbacks. It's in the hours you put into improving your skills, the nights you spend building your vision, the mornings you spend reinforcing your mind, body, and spirit. Every small decision compounds into a transformation so powerful that it can't be ignored. People may have left when you were still finding yourself, but when you grow into the person you were always meant to be, your value becomes undeniable. They can't argue with results. They can't debate progress. And they can't rewrite your journey. And don't misunderstand me. Growth isn't about them seeing it. Growth is about you feeling it. It's about the confidence that comes from knowing you're better today than you were yesterday. That you're moving toward your dreams, even when the world seemed to turn its back on you. It's about the pride that comes from healing on your own terms, from standing tall without validation from those who left. But when your growth is undeniable, trust me, they'll see it. They'll notice the change in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you navigate life. They'll notice the energy, the glow, the independence, the success. And in that moment, words are no longer necessary. Your life becomes the message they can't ignore. The irony is that when people leave, they often don't realize they giving you the ultimate gift. Freedom to grow without restraint. Freedom to focus solely on your dreams, your happiness, and your evolution. Freedom to prove to yourself, not them, how unstoppable you are. And when you take that freedom seriously, when you channel it into personal growth, your life becomes a reflection of your true worth. You don't need validation from anyone else. You don't need apologies. You don't need recognition. You only need the satisfaction of knowing that you invested in yourself. Elevated yourself. and became someone whose value is visible without explanation. C, actions, results, and growth reveal more than words ever could. Words are temporary, fleeting, and easily dismissed. Growth is permanent, undeniable, and impossible to overlook. When you focus on yourself, you build something they can't take away, something they can't replicate, and something they'll never forget. And that's the power of true value. It's revealed not by what you say, but by the life you live, the strength you build, and the success you achieve. When someone leaves you for someone else, it hurts. There's no sugarcoating that. Your heart aches, your pride is bruised, and your mind can't stop replaying the moments, the words, the promises. And your first instinct might be to get even. You might want to call them out, embarrass them, show them what they lost. You might want revenge. But here's the truth, and it's simple. The best payback is not in drama, not in confrontation, not in showing off what they missed. The best payback is in becoming someone they no longer have access to. See, people don't really notice value until it's gone. They don't realize what they walked away from until the absence hits them like a punch in the chest. And nothing makes that absence sting more than seeing you rise above, seeing you thrive, seeing you live at a level they no longer have access to. When they left, they thought they were freeing themselves. They thought they were moving on to something better, something easier. But what they didn't realize is that leaving you created an opportunity for you to evolve in ways they could never imagine. And that evolution becomes your ultimate payback. You don't need to text them, stalk their social media, or brag about your achievements to the people you share. That's petty. That's still letting them live, rent-free in your head. Real power is quiet. Real power is internal. It's in waking up every morning and making choices that benefit you, that improve you, that elevate you. It's in the hours you put into your career, your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's in the nights you spend chasing dreams instead of chasing validation. Every step you take to become the best version of yourself is a step away from them and a step toward your freedom. And when they try to look back, they see someone they can't touch, can't influence, and can't control anymore. That is payback. Becoming someone they no longer have access to is not just about success. It's about strength. It's about confidence. It's about peace. It's about showing up in your own life fully, without apology, without fear, and without carrying the baggage of someone who chose to leave. You rebuild your life in such a way that their absence becomes irrelevant because you've created a reality that they can't enter, a joy they can't take, a love they can't replace. That is the kind of payback that lasts, the kind of victory that doesn't fade with time, the kind of respect that can't be demanded. It's earned through your growth and your freedom. And here's the beautiful irony. The more you focus on yourself, the more they notice, even if they never admit it. The more you invest in your life, your health, your mind, and your happiness, the more undeniable your transformation becomes. They'll see the laughter in your eyes that they never managed to keep. They'll see the confidence in your walk that they thought they had stolen. They'll see your success, your glow, your peace. And the one thing they'll realize too late is that they no longer have any influence over your life. That's the ultimate power, the power of self-mastery and self-reliance. So when someone leaves, don't waste your energy trying to prove anything to them. Don't burn your time on resentment, bitterness, or revenge. Instead, put your energy into becoming untouchable, unstoppable, and complete, inaccessible to the life they imagined they could have with you. Make your growth your revenge. Make your success your statement. Make your peace your victory. When you reach a point where they can't touch you, can't influence you, and can't reach you, that is when you've truly won. Life has a way of testing you. And sometimes that test comes in the form of people leaving. They walk out on you, thinking it's the end of the story, thinking they've stolen something from you, thinking they've taken your happiness, your love, your time, or your energy. And at first it hurts, it cuts deep. It shakes you in ways you didn't know possible. But here's the truth. The way you respond to that hurt will determine whether it defines you or refines you. When someone leaves, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a comeback. And that comeback is what brings true closure, more than any words, any fight, or any apology ever could. The first step in a powerful comeback is to stand tall. Stand tall physically, mentally, emotionally. Don't shrink. Don't apologize for your pain. Don't let the world see you broken when inside you're learning to rebuild. Stand tall, because even when the world feels heavy, even when your heart feels shattered, you have a choice. You can bow down to the hurt, or you can rise above it. Standing tall is about reclaiming your presence, reclaiming your energy, and showing yourself that no one, and I mean no one, has the power to diminish your spirit unless you let them. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing that no matter what you've been through, you are still here, still breathing, still capable of greatness. Healing is the next step. And let me tell you, healing doesn't happen overnight. Healing takes time, patience, and effort. Healing means forgiving, not for them, but for you. Healing means understanding that pain is temporary, but lessons are permanent. Healing means taking the broken pieces of your heart, your trust, your confidence, and carefully putting them back together, stronger than they were before. It's about nurturing yourself when no one else is. It's about listening to your own voice, trusting your own judgment, and creating peace within yourself. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. Healing doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Healing means transforming the hurt into strength, the loss into wisdom, and the heartbreak into a roadmap for your future. Growth comes next, and it's the most important part. Growth is active, intentional, and unstoppable. It's learning from your experiences, building new habits, exploring new opportunities, and investing in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Growth is about becoming someone who doesn't just survive heartbreak, but thrives despite it. It's about leveling up mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, so that you become unrecognizable from the person who once felt defeated. Growth is the proof that you refuse to stay in the shadow of someone else's choices. It's the silent declaration that your life isn't defined by who left, but by how you choose to rise. Elevate after growth, because elevation is where the real magic happens. Elevation is moving beyond bitterness, beyond regret, beyond the temptation to look back. Elevation is seeing the bigger picture and recognizing that every step you take toward your dreams, every moment you invest in your purpose, every ounce of energy you put into yourself lifts you higher than anyone could ever pull you down. Elevation makes you untouchable. Elevation makes your life a reflection of your resilience, a beacon of your strength, and a proof that loss can turn into power. Your comeback becomes the ultimate closure. You don't need explanations. You don't need apologies. You don't need validation from the ones who left. Your life becomes the answer. Your happiness, your success, your peace, and your glow become proof that you are bigger than the heartbreak, stronger than the rejection, and more unstoppable than anyone ever imagined. The comeback is the quiet, undeniable truth that you were never defined by what you lost, but by how you rose from it. Stand tall, heal, grow, elevate, and let your life speak the closure that words could never deliver.